I'm Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love and beauty. I'm going to tell you about ancient Greece. Ancient Greece began around 1000 BC and ended during the Roman invasion and the Battle at Corinth around 146 BC. I'm going to tell you about some things about ancient Greece. The four areas I want to talk about are architecture, technology, work and play, and costume. Architecture is plans for buildings. Technology is using science to solve problems. Work and play are things the people do. Costume is how they dressed. Greeks had many different styles of architecture. The ones I want to tell you about are the Acropolis, columns, and stones. The Acropolis is a rocky area at the highest point of most Greek cities. It was easy to defend, so it was often the site of forts and temples. The most famous Acropolis today is in Athens and has the Parthenon on it. A column is a stone pillar made to support a roof. There were 89 columns in the Parthenon on the Acropolis in Athens. A stoa is a part of a building with columns and walkways, used in many places in the city. It usually has one wall and the other side is closed. A gymnasium was an area for men and boys to play sports. It was also a place for meetings. Greek people did lots of kinds of technology. Some of the important ones are metalwork, coins, pottery, and ships. Greeks made bronze from about 2900 BC and still use it for armor and helmets. They used iron from about 1000 BC to make swords, spears, axes, knives, and hammers. Around 600 BC, a Greek smith made a disc of hot metal. He put the disc on a metal pattern called a die. Then he hammered the disc into a coin. They were usually made of copper, silver, or gold. Ancient Greeks heated clay pots in a 1000-degree oven. They painted pictures of gods and goddesses or of everyday life on their paintings. The Greeks made lots of ships because they lived near the sea. Warships were made of wood and had 2,000 men on them. They were called triremes. They had 3 sets of oars on each side. Ancient Greeks worked hard and liked to play. I'm going to tell you about drama, games, politics, and slavery. The first Greek plays were part of religious festivals. Women were not allowed to act in the plays. The actors put on masks. Sporting events were held in honor of the gods. Events included running, wrestling, throwing the discus, and chariot racing. Politics is the study and practice of government. The word comes from the Greek word for city, polis. Some cities were ruled by kings and some were ruled by assemblies of citizens. Greek society relied on slaves to do the hard work without paying them. Slaves could be found everywhere. They worked as servants in houses, and they worked in factories, shops, mines, farms, and on the ships. Greek people had simple styles of dress. I will tell you about their clothes and hair. The armor that the soldiers wore is also important. The chiton is a long linen tunic worn by men and women that was joined over the shoulders. A peplos is a woman's long woolen dress, tied at the waist and fastened at the shoulders. Ancient Greeks had fancy hairstyles. Men wore their hair short and curled. Women wore their hair long with ringlets and ribbons. Soldiers covered their heads with crested bronze helmets. The cuirass is made of metal breastplates on the front and back. Greaves were shin guards. Goodbye from ancient Greece for now. I'm heading back to Mount Olympus.